Okay, our second connective is the disjunction. And when you hear disjunction, I want you to think or. Or and disjunction go together. We'll symbolize the disjunction like this. For the other dyslexics in class like me, sorry, this is a symbol for our conjunction just upside down. Okay, let's call this symbol or to make it easy on ourselves. And again, maybe I need to say the disjunction of P and Q, but usually we can just get away with calling that symbol or and saying it when we see it. One important note on disjunction: this is the inclusive or. Okay, so I'm going to ask you, do you like chocolate or vanilla? You can say yes, I like both of those things. Inclusive or. English language is full and rich, but really the only word that we use to mean or, especially the inclusive or, is just or. Watch out for either. Either usually signifies we're going to do the exclusive or. Okay, you can have either chocolate or vanilla, means one or the other, but not both. Okay, I want to do a little work with symbolization. So I'm going to need a P and a Q. Let's do P is you pass math and logic. And let's do Q is you graduate. And again, my plan is to just do some quick symbolizing back and forth. So let's go one way first. Sorry about that. Let me turn on my do not disturb. Okay. Let's symbolize you graduate or you pass math and logic. Okay, you graduate or you pass math and logic. Okay, I see you graduate. You graduate was Q. I see or. That means our symbol for or. You pass math and logic was P. So this is Q or P. Okay, excellent. Let's symbolize you pass math and logic or you don't graduate. Okay, you pass math and logic or you don't graduate. All right, well, starting at the beginning, you pass math and logic. That's definitely P. Or, so our symbol for or, you don't graduate. Let's see, you graduate was Q, so you don't graduate should be not Q. This is P or not Q. Okay, if you feel like you're getting this good, that's great. I want to introduce something else important, and so we're going to do a little mixed practice one here. So let's do you do not graduate or you do not pass math and logic. Comma, and you graduate. Okay, that is you do not graduate or you do not pass math and logic and you graduate. Okay, there's something new here that I need to show you. Specifically, it's what do commas do. Let's not worry about the comma for a second. Let's just get down what things we have here in order. So you do not graduate, it's definitely not Q. Here's an or. You do not pass math and logic, that should be not P. Here's an and. Okay, if you're doing this and you wrote two ors, be careful, right? We can have both of these together. So this one's and then you graduate is Q. So this should be something like not Q or not P and Q. But this comma is important. Okay, commas break up statements. Commas split them into parts. This comma is breaking this up into two parts. We have the you do not graduate or you do not pass math and logic, and the back part here, the and you graduate. In math, the way that we can keep this stuff together is by using parentheses. So I'm going to put parentheses around the not Q or not P because I want this together and then I want the and Q at the end. Okay, so that comma breaks up the statement. These parentheses keep this part of the statement together. I'm just going to write that down. So note, commas break up statements. We need to keep those pieces together. With parentheses. Okay, you got a comma in your statement, you will likely have parentheses here. If you have parentheses here and something outside of them, something more that we're doing, you'll likely have a comma in your statement. Okay, then I need to do one more quick bookkeeping thing now that we've introduced the idea of commas and parentheses here. What if we had not Q or not P, and then in parentheses and Q? Hopefully that strikes you as a little odd. It would be like saying 2 plus 8 and then in parentheses divide by 5. This doesn't really mean anything because it's not clear what I'm supposed to do. Remember, we're never going to use our notation to try to confuse each other. We're trying to communicate clearly. This is not how you should write any kind of arithmetic because I don't know what to divide by 5. Similarly here, I don't know what I'm supposed to take an and with Q. Should I do all of this first? Should I do not P and Q? So both of these are no good. Okay, they make us sad and maybe angry. Okay, when you use parentheses, you need to put them around two simple statements. That has to be what you're keeping together with parentheses. You can have a connective on the outside, but you can't have a connective touching on the inside. All right, let's do a couple going the other direction. So let's write in words. How about P or not P? Okay, careful here. Notice there's no Q, so I'm talking about passing math and logic twice. P is you pass math and logic. And then or, the negation of that is you don't pass math and logic. Okay, so P, you pass math and logic, or, our symbol for or, so the word or, and then not P, negation of you pass math and logic is you don't pass math and logic. All right, I've got one more crazy thing to do. I need another piece of paper. Do I? If I could fit it here, that would be really swell. So I'm going to go for it. I haven't shown you how to do this yet, but let's suppose I have a negation outside of my parentheses. Okay, so this tells me do P or Q and then negate it, right? Because inside parentheses I would do first and then that. We have a phrase that means negate everything I'm about to tell you. That phrase is, it is not true that. Okay, it is not true that says negate everything I'm about to say. And then I've got you pass math and logic. And then or, you graduate. Okay, it is not true that is negation and parentheses. And then P or Q. So that's my one last note here. It is not true that is it is not true that. Sorry, I said the same thing twice. Negation and then parentheses means it is not true that, whatever's in those parentheses.